Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Rumors about couple tattoos have suddenly exploded on social media again, sending armies around the world into a frenzy. Jungkook's every little move has always been in the spotlight, but this time, there's something different. It's not just fan speculation or the editing of rumor mill accounts. There are small pieces that, when put together, seem like a puzzle that points to one person. Someone who has been in Jungkook's orbit for far too long. And when episode 2 was released, everything seemed clearer. It's no longer a rumor, no longer just a theory. It's about who is really behind those little marks. About someone whose existence can no longer be hidden by cameras, schedules, or excuses of coincidence. The couple tattoo controversy arose when fans discovered certain designs that seemed to have a couple or double meaning. There are small symbols that look ordinary on their own, but when juxtaposed with other people's tattoos, their hidden meanings become apparent. It all began when a video clip showed a close-up of the tattoos on Jungkook's hands. ARMY immediately became active like detectives who never sleep, comparing shapes, lines, sizes, even shading. And when someone noticed that some of the symbols resembled designs often associated with Jimin, the internet erupted. Some denied it, some believed it, some were angry, some were happy. But one thing was for sure, no one could keep quiet. Meanwhile, Jungkook maintained his usual demeanor, calm, relaxed, yet full of code, as if he knew that everything he did would be calculated, analyzed, aligned, and ultimately concluded without him having to say anything. And indeed, Jungkook has always been known as someone who rarely talks about personal matters. But the moment he revealed even a little, it was like giving the world an additional chapter in a book that had previously only contained fragments of mystery. What was interesting was Jimin's response. No words, no clarification, no denial. But there's something about the way he smiles, the way he appears at certain moments, and the way he chooses not to appear at others. There's a pattern that only those who have followed their journey from the beginning can discern. A pattern of silence that speaks louder than 1,000 posts. When episode 2 arrived, the narrative shifted completely. This episode felt like an answer never directly delivered, but intentionally left like breadcrumbs leading everyone to a single door. Within the episode, there were fragments of stories that felt deeply personal, like someone speaking not to the camera, but to someone they completely trust. There was a warm energy, a comfort, a familiarity that couldn't be built in a short time. Things like that made episode 2 feel like a wordless confession. Many armies remarked that the vibe in the video wasn't that of idol and fan, nor was it that of host and guest, but something more, something profound. Jungkook seemed very much at home in the episode, not just physically but emotionally, as if the person behind the camera, or perhaps even outside the frame, was someone who had long been a part of his life. This is where the couple tattoos rumors resurfaced. There was a small scene where Jungkook absent-mindedly touched a particular tattoo, like someone thinking about something or someone. A small, spontaneous action, but full of meaning. And when fans discovered that the gesture occurred every time a specific moment in the story was mentioned, the internet began to connect the dots. The hidden couple rumors resurfaced, but this time the discussion was different. Many began to notice that a pattern emerging in episode 2 always pointed to a very familiar figure. Someone Jungkook had once called, "the one who makes me feel comfortable." Someone who had once said that Jungkook was my home. Those words might have been fleeting to others, but not to those who had watched the two's dynamic for years. When discussing the scene where Jungkook was seen tidying up his room for filming, fans noticed small details that made them freeze. There were objects typically only seen in Jimin's house. There were certain candles whose brand Jimin always used. There were small decorations whose style suited Jimin's taste more than Jungkook's. Not dramatic, not flashy, but tangible. Like the traces of someone trying to be invisible, but the traces were too familiar to ignore. Episode 2 also shows Jungkook adopting a different tone of voice, softer, more intimate, and more playful. Many have said, JK only talks like that's with Jimin. Longtime fans can tell the difference between how Jungkook speaks to staff, other members, or even someone he truly trusts. In this episode, Jungkook doesn't seem to be filming. He seems to be talking to someone off camera.
이슬이 좀 가득 맺힐 그런 날씨예요. 날씨인데 이런 날씨 너무 좋아하고 저는 여행을
아니 아까 너무 돌이 많아서 이런 거. 근데 니는 왜 그래?
There's also a part where Jungkook refers to someone as the person who always makes me relax. He didn't name names, but who else always appears when Jungkook needs comfort? Who else is Jungkook's shoulder to run to when he's tired? Who else has been a constant surprise in Jungkook's day since their debut? Viewers of EP2 agreed that the energy displayed wasn't random. It was a familiar energy. The energy of someone who had become deeply embedded in Jungkook's life. And when rumors suggested that someone was Jimin, everything suddenly felt like puzzle pieces finally fitting together. The tattoo controversy, which started as a rumor, turned into small, interlocking marks. Similar styles, complementary symbols, design lines that seemed like two parts of a single concept. All of this became clearer when both chose silence. A silence that wasn't defensive, but protective. A silence that felt like it said, "We know the truth. You can guess, but we're not obligated to explain anything." Their silence was the answer. Whenever rumors erupted, they didn't seem anxious. They didn't seem panicked. They didn't seem to be hiding anything suspiciously. Instead, they emerged calmer, more stable, more together. Even when they weren't in the same frame, their energy was palpable in the way they acted. Jungkook was more confident, more mature and gentler. Jimin was calmer, more protective, and more attentive to detail. Fans who understood this dynamic immediately said, "This is a relationship that's been building for a long time. Not a sudden relationship, not a rumor, but a relationship that had weathered many storms." Episode 2 was a turning point for many armies. They saw Jungkook not just as an artist, but as a human being. A human being with someone he trusted, cherished, and protected. Someone whose presence couldn't be hidden even when he wasn't on screen. Someone who didn't need to be named, because the world already knew who he was. And in the end, the truth about who Jungkook really is didn't come in the form of a confession. Not in a post, not in words, but in the form of an energy too strong to lie about. An energy that only arises when two people have shared so much over the years. An energy that can be felt by anyone who understands them. The tattoo controversy may have been just a trigger. Episode May 2nd have been just a medium. But what's real is the connection that's long been visible to those willing to look. And among all those possibilities, one name keeps popping up the most. One name that's always beside Jungkook, in the light and in the shadows. Thank you for watching Jikook Diaries today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates about Jungkook, Jimin, and all the little stories that always leave us wondering. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you feel the same energy? Or do you have another theory about what's really going on? I always read your comments, and I often get new insights from you all. See you in the next video. Stay happy, stay loving, and as always, in Jikook Diaries, the truth always has a way of coming out.